Today our podcast is on Secrets by Urban Chick Chatter, your host, Felicia Alexander Branch. Our podcast is titled Words Unleashed, the Power of Hurtful Speech. Welcome to the Words Unleashed, the podcast that develops deep and dives into the hidden impact of hurtful words, the culture of silence, and the consequence of not apologizing. I am your host, Felicia Alexander Branch, and in today's episode, we will uncover the dirty little secrets of how people's words can be devastating, especially when those responsible refuse to acknowledge the harm they've caused. The power of words. We begin by examining the immense power that words hold. Words can build bridges or erect walls. They can lift spirits or shatter self-esteem. To understand their impact, we hear from individuals who experience the weight of hurtful words firsthand. My experience with words firsthand will be when people misunderstand what you're asking them or sending to them, and in such a way they reply that you're not considerate of their feelings, but you are considerate of their feelings. And sometimes we have to examine different things when we're under a stress level where we have to sit back and wait before we speak or send anything to anyone. The reluctance to apologize. In this segment, we explored the complex psychology behind why some people refuse to apologize for their hurtful words. Well, let's discuss the fear of vulnerability, ego protection, social norm that enables their behavior to persist. Real stories. It's time to listen to stories of those who have been affected by harmful words, stories that often go untold. We'll hear from survivors who have narrated the aftermath of their words, as well as experts who shed light on the psychological toll they take. The culture of silence.
Unfortunately, in life, there are going to be times when people say things to you and you're going to experience really hurt feelings, and it's not going to be within your control when those moments arise. We are living in a highly interactive world. We have relationships with many people close to us, as well as just passing encounters with strangers, people at work, and people are going to say things, and sometimes it's going to be good and sometimes it's going to be hurtful. And what we need to know is, how do we manage how we respond to that? Not how do we control that not happening, because you're not going to have control over that. You can't control other people. People are going to behave how they're going to behave. And so I want to share with you 3 key ideas to help you separate yourself in those instances when you hear some words, they hurt your feelings, and you've got a choice about what to do with that, okay? So the first thing I want you to understand is that when somebody expresses painful, unkind, unconscious, hurtful words at you, or any other kind of words described as of a negative or low vibration, what you need to understand is that most often the way people are behaving and what they are saying, what they're doing, has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with what is going on for them. Whatever is going on within them creates and generates their words and their actions, and you're on the receiving end of that. Okay? Doesn't matter what the circumstances are. Whatever the circumstances are between you and that person is still responsible for their beliefs, their thoughts, their feelings, and their actions. No one else is responsible for those. The circumstances may have made them upset and may have warranted an unhappy reaction, but they still have a conscious choice, and they are still accountable and responsible for their words and their actions, okay? And so are you, vice versa. So what we need to understand about this is that when someone is unkind to you and you are hurt by their words and they express pain at you, targeted at you, you need to remember that pain only comes out when pain is within. So when someone is expressing painful, negative emotions and words at you, you need to just stand back for a moment and detach from the fact that you're involved and recognise that a fellow human being is experiencing immense pain in that moment. Now, I'm not asking you to jump to love and compassion for them. I just want you to at least be aware of the fact that this person who's hurting you, don't get caught in your own hurt about it. At least appreciate that love comes out of someone who is in a love and compassion state of being. Pain and hurt and negativity comes out of someone who is in pain, who is hurt, who is lost in their own negativity, who is unconscious in that moment. Not overall, but in that moment for sure. And that is not in your control, and that actually doesn't have anything to do with you. So when you can have this moment of clarity about what this other human being is experiencing as they spit their upset at you and they spit their unkind and hurtful words at you, you can actually go, I'm sad for that, and I have empathy for that because I know what that's like to be caught in that, and that's not actually about me. That's the first point of awareness that you can have to detach yourself when you're on the receiving end of hurtful words. The second thing I want you to understand is that someone else's words can't hurt you. It's your choice to be hurt by them. It might sound like semantics, but what you need to understand is words came out of somebody's mouth. You heard them. You processed them. You received them, and you had a feeling response to them. And your feeling response automatically was hurt. Their words cannot hurt you unless you receive their words and you process them in a way that allows you to feel and experience that hurt. Now, I appreciate that it's very easy to have someone say words at you and you have an automatic reaction of hurt quite quickly. But what I want you to just think about as a concept is that when someone says words to you, you have a moment of choice to receive the words and take them on board, or not to receive them. Okay? This is a tactic, if you like, that I use in my life. When I notice someone communicating with me and I don't like the energy, the vibration, the messaging, I feel it's negative and it's low vibration or it's unconscious, while I do take on board and look if there's learning in that for me, I am very conscious about saying I'm choosing not to receive that. That is not my pain, that is pain coming from within them, and I choose not to take it on board. It doesn't mean you don't hear their words and you don't have empathy for them and that you don't take a moment to see what you could learn from the situation, but just think of it like you're catching a ball. Someone's throwing those words at you and you're only going to have a full-blown hurt reaction if you catch it. Okay, so just make a choice. Do I want to catch that or do I want to deflect? Now, deflecting's not a negative and an argumentative and a painful thing. It's just saying to yourself, I choose not to receive those words into my space. I choose not to bring that negativity and that feeling into my space. I choose to bolster my own peace, my own presence, to have empathy for them and to not let that absorb in and affect me. Okay, so that's the second thing that I wanted to share with you. The third analogy that I want to share with you, or this third concept, is I want you to think of when somebody's speaking to you and they are saying words that are hurtful and there's negativity coming out of them. Maybe it's with your partner, maybe it's with your children, maybe it's with a workmate, but you get into a bit of a tussle. It might even be you're out shopping and you have a bit of an argument with someone behind the counter at the store. You're not getting what you want. What I want you to remember is that when they throw their words out, it's like they're sending a fishing line out, okay? And it's got bait on the end of it. Well, you're the fish and they're fishing for a reaction, okay? So what I want you to do is don't take the bait. It's not much harder than that. Don't take the bait. Here's what happens is people say they want to live a peaceful life, they want to live a present life, they want to practice their spirituality, and they want to grow to be the person that they know they're capable of being. What that takes is a lot more than listening to videos and reading books and meditating. It takes when you are out there in your life and someone peeves you off and you feel your emotion rumble and rupture inside of you like a volcano that wants to come spewing out of your mouth because someone said words that hurt you, you need to take a deep breath and realize you've just been thrown a fishing line and the bait on the end of it is a big lump of negativity, and you've got a choice. You can either bite that bait or you can notice it and just stand back and do nothing. Do nothing and say nothing. Walk away if you must. Sometimes inner peace and living a peaceful life means literally walking away. Sometimes it means staying there and being present but saying nothing. Sometimes it means saying something beautiful and loving and compassionate in the face of hurtful words. But the thing you need to know is that if you take the bait, there's the fishing line, and if you've ever been fishing, and I love fishing, you know that when you put the line out into the water and the fish grabs it, what happens? Becomes a tug of war and a fight between the person holding the fishing rod and the fish. There's a fight going on and the line goes really tight and the fish is struggling and the fisherman's struggling, and it's a battle to see who's going to win. No good is going to come if you take the bait. Okay, what happens is, think of the line on the fishing rod with the bait on the end and you've latched on and the other person's sent the words out and they're tugging on the line. Think of that fishing line as an energy cord, okay? We have energy when we're interacting. You and I are interacting now as you listen, and our energy is connecting. When you have an energy connection with someone, you actually create a literal attachment. It's like an energy, we call it an energy cord, okay? And so if someone's throwing out a negative cord, a negative energy line through negative words and negative intent, and you latch on, you've just attached yourself to it. So if you don't want to be drawn into other people's negative energy and their negativity vortex, as I like to call it, don't take the bait. But it takes really practicing. You have to practice your presence. You have got to be your spiritual self and your biggest self and your present self and your highest conscious self in every moment of your day. And that's when the rubber meets the road. You can read all the books you want, you can listen to all these YouTube videos, you can listen to all my affirmations, you can meditate till the cows come home, but if you don't practice at the moment when you're triggered, then you won't see the increase in inner peace. You won't feel the increased sense of personal freedom coming from the inside out, and you won't experience the heights of success that you optimally can reach at your peak performance, be it in your career or in any other area of your life. If you want to rocket out in all of those areas, then practice your presence and your empowerment in the darkest and most challenging of moments when people's words come to hurt you. Okay, so those are 3 practical and conceptual ideas that you can play with in your life. I encourage you to take it this week and see how you can apply it. Please do subscribe to my channel because I love to share content with you, and I do upload regularly, and I'd love to help you unleash your inner peace, your freedom and your success in all areas of your life. Please do leave video comments below and I will reply to you as soon as possible, and thank you very much for watching.
The ripple effect. That was Miss Bernadette, and I will drop her link on the notes of this video. The ripple effect. Words have a ripple effect, not just on individuals, but on the entire community. We have to stop the unhurtful speech, which can cause far beyond the initial target, affecting innocent bystanders and creating lasting divisions. Empathy and healing. We have went through what words can do to you, so now we have to learn to heal and reconcile from them. We have to learn conflict resolution, empathy building, to understand how we can break the cycle of hurtful words and foster a more compassionate society. This concludes our podcast with Urban Chick Chatter. Your host, Felicia Alexander Branch. Thank you for joining us through this journey through the hidden words of hurtful words in the world. Remember, our words have the power to heal or harm, and it's up to us to choose how we see them. Let's work together to create a world where apologies are sincere and the harm caused by words is acknowledged and addressed. This is Felicia Alexander Branch again, signing off from Words Unleashed with Urban Chick Chatter on Spotify, iHeart, and coming to Buzzsprout. I also have an activity on my PayHip that's free of charge for activities that you can do when you're going through hurtful feelings, and you can just kind of go out and be by yourself or particular with some certain friends to do these activities. I will drop my PayHip link on this video also. Be blessed and thank you for watching, and have a good evening.